I will restore elders unto thee, and I will heal my people, saith Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
The last time you talked about the complexion for detection, JEMMELL chimed in and he says race doesn't matter.
Man. That's why I ain't had to come back and say nothing to him. Because the people tore his ass up and they still tearing his ass up. To make a dumb statement like race matter in everything. Single thing that we do. Do he understand how many fires paved the way for his black ass? How many people died for him to have the chance that he have? Don't think about how many people that got hung, how many babies that got stolen from their parents and fed to crocodiles to get the crocodile skin. But how many people had the education, the mindset and the smartness to be great, but because of their skin complexion it allowed them to be in the back of the line? How many people need raises, but they give this other complexion that's starting new already a higher salary than you, and you've been there for 6 years. But race don't matter. When your ass go and try to get that bank loan when you run out of money and can't get it, better yet, when you go shopping or something like that and they refuse you, or you go out to eat or something, they refuse you. But race don't matter. That was the stupidest thing he could have ever said. But hey, the people told, I want everything every time he do something and get denied or anything happen to him, I want him to remember those comments. That comment he gonna have to stick with for the rest of his entire life. And you know how that made black people feel?
Right.
I don't have to say nothing because they on his head.
Yeah, I see it.
And a lot of them, you can't, hey, one thing about the people is 2 minutes. You can't get protected by 2 minutes.
Right.
By, tuck your tail in like a dog.
Right.
Stupid bitch. Stupid bitch. And I'll tell that to his face. They sit around and, what can I'm gonna say something, man. I'm gonna get some brownie points or something like that, so somebody can get on their side. Well, maybe the opposition will get on my side, and cheer me on. Yeah, for that moment in time.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Recha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to you other elders, Akim, you brethren, you followers of the truth. And let me say shalom to the elect. Okay, I want to go on this video. Actually, I was on one of my other channels, and I wasn't planning on doing a video. And then, the Most High will send you video links to keep you working, So I saw this video, and I was like, well, let me check it out. It's titled, Deontay Wilder, JEMMELL Charlo needs to be slapped. I'd say that to his face. Now, apparently JEMMELL Charlo has said that race doesn't matter, or something of that nature. Get over it. Race doesn't matter. Okay, and it's easy when you get those incentives, if you know what I'm talking about. It's easy for it to be, pushed, to say things or controlled or whatever. I don't know why he said what he said, but we can clearly see that when we're dealing with entertainment, that is all plugged in. That is all plugged in. When we, us in the truth, we know this. So I don't know, his own family would actually have to see that there's something wrong. But I just want to do this small commentary because Deontay Wilder, as I did videos in the past, that he has that spirit, that fire of an Israelite. And he says things that kind of makes you believe he knows about the truth. He has his beard. He talks about this man himself. Everybody know what I'm talking about. And he goes off. Right? So the Most High is keeping this separation of people going. It's just what it is. So I'll try to keep this video in a way that some of the things that was said that Deontay said, I couldn't even put up because I know that I know what will happen to the actual video. So I'll say it in a way that it's understood, right? So anyway, this guy JEMMELL Charlo says, again, he says that race doesn't matter, and Deontay says, well, and I'm not saying this because it's Deontay Wilder. I'm a great fan of his, which I see him to be as a brawler, not much as a boxer. If he probably went more to the body more, he'd probably have a more successful career, I would think. And has also stated that there was cheating going on with the other Tyson Fury or whatever. I was just looking at it. But I'm just going on what this thing with Deontay Wilder and JEMMELL said. See, myself, I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to remember racism and witness it. I lived in situations as a young man in group homes around these people who perpetuate racism, right? The building that Jake's, I'll just try to keep it clean. The building that Jake's was in, they would spray paint those 3 letters, the KKK. They would spray paint them on the building. I remember this. I remember being young enough to remember the threats of lynching. I was even jokingly threatened myself. I didn't know how serious they were. I was a very young man. But I was put in a predicament, in a situation where you had people of Jacob and Esau, basically. That's the best way to put it. It was so-called blacks and so-called whites. And it was heavy racism. So we understand that racism goes beyond skin color anyway, right? Because you had, when you go to the scriptures, you had nations against nations, and it wasn't always about the skin color. It just one came on with a more predominant role, okay? I had family members who witnessed lynchings. So I have no idea why this guy would say what he says, okay? I mean, it's clear, as Deontay Wilder pointed out to the history. Now, you do got these guys that are now coming up trying to change history that is set up. I can't remember this Jake's name, who said the slave ships never existed now. They're trying to take all that away. And the slaves never came to America, and slave ships of white people came to Africa. I mean, just all kinds of crazy, that Dane Calloway character saying that. So you got all these characters where they're plugged in to change information, right? But you can't change it over the Most High, because us, as Israelites, we'll never let you forget it, man. No matter what they do, we're going to go out and teach. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. Okay? So when you go to the proof of, if it doesn't exist and it doesn't matter, this is what this guy says. Why isn't you or anybody that look like you or your kind running this planet? And you ask people that, they can't tell you. Why? Why are you running things, man? This is all about re-educating and taking your history. And this is the agenda, okay? Nahum 3:1, woe to the bloody city, right? It is full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not, okay? Self-explanatory. Psalm 6:10. Trust not in oppression. This is these entertainers, these athletes. It's easy to say that. But you do have some athletes and some entertainers, even though they follow the Black Lives Matter, which is all set up anyway, they have that heart of wanting to defend, the so-called black people. And it's not about black, we know that. It's about Israelites who look like other nations. You look at the Native Americans, they're keeping it in a box as black people. But they have that heart or spirit of like, something isn't right. But they continue to take the paychecks. They're taking a knee, and then they're getting fined for it. Once you get into that league, once you get into those arenas, you are not you. You think you are. You think you're in control. Right? And this is the problem they're having with outlashing him, DEONTAY, and making these names for him and doing whatever they're doing. I'm not going to go into the details in that because this is trying to make this an edifying video of our people and what they do to try to forget history and forget the past so they can move on, right? Now, you have memorials all over, and I'm not going to say what memorials, but they got memorials even where we push at. All kinds of memorials, which means to remember. Not our memorials, but they'll keep their memorials up. And then you have a thing called Memorial Day. They'll keep that memorial going, that remembrance. They want you to forget. Psalm 62:10, trust not in oppression, become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. And that's what a lot of these guys do. They get a little money, they get riches, and of course, it doesn't seem like a race thing to him. He's got a couple of cents in his pocket, some checks in his pocket. He all good, but he doesn't know he have agents, and he doesn't know that he has to do what is said. And there's a cut of money in contracts of the very situation he's talking about, saying that it doesn't matter. And for what I heard, that he wasn't allowed into the gym because of who he was, complexion wise. This is what I hear. So you Jakes, you get what you get, man. Sirach 12 and this is going to prove it. Sirach 12:13, who will pity a charmer when he is bitten with a serpent, or any such come nigh as wild beasts? So who going to pity a Jake that's going to come up and say, hey, don't worry about it, it's all good. But when that time come and you catch what you catch, who going to pity that, man? Someone that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, for a while he'll abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If an adversary come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So these guys can go on and believe and believe and believe. Floyd Mayweather had to find some things out. I'm not going to go into his situation either. But a lot of these actors, these entertainers, hey, they're big contracts. There's big money. And us that's in the truth, ought to be thankful that we didn't go down those paths to get to that point. Now, there will be some actors and athletes who know the truth, as Paul called privately or privily of reputation. So believe it or not, it's a lot of these Jakes, they know the truth, man. They understand the Hebrew Israelites. So anyway, I just wanted to do a short commentary on that. I thought that was interesting, that this young man that said it doesn't matter, and he hasn't even experienced it on a whole level. He hasn't maybe went to Google or went to history and did any reading or any understanding that his very name that he got was because of what happened to his ancestors. Everything he does as far as Christmas and Easter and all the holidays and his livelihood, his relationships, his diet, everything is because we were robbed and spoiled and taken of our heritage. If he read the Bible and got proper understanding with the truth, he would know that. That's all I have on that. Shalom.